Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper and today we are going to talk about an antioxidant. We are going to talk about a synthetic antioxidant from a company called The Ordinary. And the product looks like this. And maybe we should say that it is from Estée Lauder because the active ingredient in here is made by Estée Lauder several years ago. And anyway, Estée Lauder, they own the majority of The Ordinary nowadays. So how does the product look? Well, it is this brown bottle and it looks like this. And it is something called EUK-134. And that is, you can just see it has this dripper in here. And it is a synthetic antioxidant. And in our body, we have something called Superoxide Dismutase and Catalase. And Estée Lauder, they found out that maybe if they made a molecule that sort of combined the activity of those two things, they would end up with a synthetic antioxidant, and it would have the effect that it could actually regenerate itself, because superoxide dismutase and catalase, they are antioxidants. So when they made a molecule to combine those two things, then they had a molecule that could actually work as an antioxidant, and when it had done that, then it could actually regenerate itself, and then it could go on and on and on with its antioxidant effect. So that is obviously really clever, but how does it work? Well, the thing is that Estée Lauder, they have made some scientific studies, and what they say is that if you put this on before you go out into the sun, the product will not protect you as a UV filter against the sun, but what it will do is that the damage that can happen from UVA light and UVB light, that is something that this molecule here, the EUK-134, can protect you from. And it is so that in their studies they saw that when they put it on before UVA exposure, it was very helpful at protecting the skin, but they also saw that just putting it on this skin without adding any UVA light, it had a beneficial effect on the skin. And even if it was not on the skin when they exposed the skin to UVA light, and then they added this ingredient afterwards, then it still had a good effect on the skin, in sense of protecting the skin against the UVA damages that had happened from UVA light. So there is another study as well, and that was done with a UVB light. And that was done in a Petri dish. So that was done on keratinocyte cells in a Petri dish, so in a lab. And there they saw that, again, this EUK-134 molecule could actually protect those cells from the damaging UVB light. So that is all very good. So how much should you use? Well, they don't really say how much you should use, but it is a 0.1% solution, and The Ordinary, they write on their webpage that that is actually a very high concentration, or is very potent. So I think that Estée Lauder, they know how this stuff works, and they have come up with that 0.1% solution is something that should have a beneficial effect on your skin. So when should you use it? Well, normally people will say that you should use this stuff before you add your moisturizer and your sunscreen. And the most benefit from that should be that it should help the most against UVA damage. But as we have seen, or you can see that in the scholarly articles I will link to below from Estée Lauder, and they say that actually, as I just said before, it has a beneficial effect on the skin even before the UVA light comes on, and also if it is put on the skin after the UVA exposure, but also when you are exposed to the UVA light. So kind of like, it means that you can use it whenever you like, but the best thing to get the most benefit from it, I would say, is to use it before you go out into the sun. So how is it to be applied? Well, it is so that The Ordinary, they write on their webpage that there can be a little bit of a problem with this product here, because a lot of people nowadays, they would use some sort of acid on their skin or in their skincare regimes, some in the evening maybe, or in the morning, or both morning and evening. But they actually say that if you are using this product here, you should not use any sort of a strong acid together with it, because it will actually destroy the molecule. So if you are adding a lactic acid or a vitamin C serum or something else, an AHA or a BHA or something like that, you risk that this product here will be destroyed. So I am someone who uses lactic acid in the morning and in the evening. So if I wanted the benefit of this product here, I think that I should drop anything that had an acid in it in the morning, and then use this one here, and then just go for my acids in the evening, because I would fear that I would not get any sort of benefit from this product here if I was using lactic acid in the morning. Now, first when I read about it, I thought it might be that if you're using an acid on your skin maybe is a little bit more sensitive, and then adding this stuff here, then it might aggravate that sensitivity. But it is simply because it destroys, the acid destroys the molecule here. So how did it work when I used it? I would say it felt very nice on the skin, but you need to be prepared for, not unpleasantly, but it has some sort of a warming effect. If you put it in your hand and you swirl it around us like that in your hand, you will feel a warming sensation, and that's the same when you put it on your skin. It's not like, oh, this is really, really burning, but it has kind of like a warming effect for a little while. And they say you should put it on your skin before you put any sort of oily product on your skin, so before a very fat moisturizer and so on. So you can use it before your serums, basically. So the best thing I would say is to use it on just clean skin, and then everything else on top, but no acids. So what did I do? Well, I have tried it directly on my skin, and it had this sort of warming effect. And I have also used it when I just mixed it into my moisturizer. And that I would say is a little bit tricky, because what happens, and they do say that you should not do that. You should use it before your moisturizer. So when I mix it into the moisturizer, you get a feeling that it's difficult to find out how much moisturizer you should use, because this stuff here, if I just take it out in my hand, it feels like an oil, but it's not an oil. It's a propane diol for the main part in here. And that is a penetration enhancer as well. So it helps the active ingredients sink into your skin much better. But if you take some of this stuff and you put it in your hand, you see like that, it is very liquid and starts to warm my hand a little bit. Well, it really, you can really feel that it starts to warm your hand. And you do like this. It's kind of like it has an oily effect. So it is not an oil, but it works kind of like that. And that makes it difficult to feel your moisturizer when you have mixed those two things together. So what often happened was that when it had all sunk in and this stuff has sort of evaporated, then I just dried it off. But it will kind of like, after a little while, it will sort of evaporate. And then it felt like I had used way too little moisturizer, so I had to go in and add a bit more. So why did I actually buy this product to begin with? Well, the thing is that in the comments box there was someone that spoke about this product here in relation to going grey, so starting to get grey hair. If this was something that could help, because we have spoken about a lot about glutathione and in acetylcysteine. There is something else that's going on when you are getting a gray hair, and that is that there is an enzyme called catalase, and that is problematic in the sense that it doesn't really work that well when you start to get gray hairs, and therefore you would like it to work a little bit better. And there will be some sort of scientific reasons behind that it doesn't work when you get older, or doesn't work that well when you get older. And I will make a video that more in detail explains what is going on and what can be done about it. So this product here from The Ordinary, it is also something that is dismantling hydrogen peroxide, which is what is making our hair go gray. So could this product be something that is very good to use on your scalp? Well, that is why I bought it to begin with. So maybe you can imagine that when I tried it, so both I tried it and my husband, he tried it, and when you have something like this, that is kind of like a bit, it feels oily. It will evaporate at some point, but I think just in general, if you have ever tried to smear something on your scalp, then you know that it will, for a lot of it, it will end up in the hair itself. And yes, that was what happened. So even that you really try to pipette it onto the scalp itself and then just like smear it a little bit around, then very soon the whole hair would be oily and wet looking, and you're just thinking, okay, I am wasting a lot of money here. I think that in theory it will work, but I think in real life it doesn't really work. You could put it on in the evening maybe. If you didn't care how much you spend of money on something like this, then you could put it on in the evening, and then you could wash your hair in the morning. But I think your hair would act really strangely during the day if you added this in the morning. It would be difficult to deal with. So yes, for that I would say that it didn't work that well. So I would say that it might work in theory, but in practicality it will not work. So is this something that I will use again? As such, it seems like a good idea, and as I said, it should penetrate the skin very well. But I would like to see more studies on this artificial or synthetic antioxidant, because I have not seen any articles that mention anything about if there could be any problems. And we never know. When you're trying a product, it could be like in 10 years time they find out that maybe it wasn't that good after all. It might have a strong effect on certain things, but there might be some other effects that are not that good. And I have not seen enough scholarly articles to make any sort of a judgment for myself if I would use it as such. The other thing is that I'm very happy using lactic acid and amino acids and so on my skin in the morning. And if I cannot use those, if I would like to use this product here as well, then I think I would rather... at the moment, I think I would prefer to use my lactic acid in the morning and my amino acids as such. And then I think this, for me personally, will have to... well, I won't use it then. What else is there to say about it? Well, how much should you actually use? The main ingredient in this product here is propanediol, and though it is something that is moisturizing to the skin as well, I could imagine that maybe there are a limit to how much you should actually put on your skin. So if you do like I just showed, take like a dripper like this, and then put a dot like this on my skin every day, would that actually be good for my skin? Maybe not. Who knows? The point is that they need to have something to put this EUK-134 into, and maybe it just means that I shouldn't use that much of it, but it doesn't really say how many drops you should use. It just says put it on your face before serums and stuff like that. So yes, this was kind of like my little verdict on this product here, and it, again, it looks like this. And as I said, I bought it because I wanted to try it for my hair, and well, obviously I would not be able to see if would help me, but I tried it on my husband to see if it would have any sort of effect. And the point was, I actually bought 4 of these ones, or was it 6? I think it was 4, to have for a long time, because I thought, well, it's going to be an experiment that will last a little while. But when I saw how it behaved in the hair, I thought, well, that is not going to be doable anyway. So yes, that was my sort of verdict on this stuff here. If you are not using any acids on your face, it might be a good thing to use before you go out into the sun. And I think the best thing or best time to use it is before you go into the sun, so mainly in the morning. And then you could, as I mentioned, I think before that, you could just use your acids in the evening. So kind of like taking something in the morning and something in the evening, and that way make it work for you. But I don't think it's something I'm gonna use for a long term. Maybe if I find out that there is something really fantastic about it anyway, and so on, and then of course I will let you know. So yeah, if you'd like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe to the bell and do all the things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.